Coach Prime addressed his team and really emphasized that they need to focus on this year and right now. Go ahead and take a listen. You can react here.
We don't have the next day or next year. We have now. I mean, right now. You've been preparing, you've been working, we got a whole another month to get down, and we want it every day right now. That's the expectation. Don't save it. I don't know what y'all saving for. You need it right now. Some of you got dreams and aspirations going to the NFL. You need to do that and take care of that right now. Some of y'all got dreams and aspirations of taking care of your family, friends and loved ones, coaches included. We need to do what we need to do right now. We're going to start the day with a commitment to excellence. We're going to start the day not saving nothing, giving it every darn thing we got. Am I right or wrong? Right. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. I know it. I've seen it. God has whispered it to me. Now all we got to do is manifest it.
Well, there you have it. Matt, your thoughts on Coach Prime's statement?
Well, it's what we've been talking about. It's everything is about this moment. Everything, the years upon years of work, not just the guys we got in the transfer portal. Like, this is years upon years of not only raising his children, but developing the players. You know, like Coach Prime, I as a father of a young player who I think is pretty good, it's bigger than just, you know, coaching a player. It's your kid. It's an incredible feeling, right? So I think that the fact that they're putting it out there too, like, this is it. This is the last dance. This is everything's here. It puts immense pressure on them, but it also puts immense pressure on everybody that plays them, because they know that they're about to get the very, very best of Coach Prime and his Colorado Buffaloes, and Shedeur Sanders and Travis Hunter and Horn and Shepard and the revamped offensive line and Jordan Seaton and Hayden and, you know, Bentley and these, you know, Travis Hunter again. You know, like, come on, dog. It puts them in a very advantageous position to not only go out and play for wins and play for the NFL dream and so on and so forth, but to play for each other. And in these days, in the transfer portal era, where it's so rare to have a common, like, get behind, right? Everybody get behind something instead of just the individuals. How much does Coach JB talk about, like, we don't have a common get behind? There's not going to be any more old school common get behind. Like, these guys they're not going to school to play for a certain university and what they believe. They're going because of money or blah, 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 blah. Well, this is actually a story where everybody is getting behind something that's just bigger than money. This is getting behind family and real, you know, like the when you say football is family, well, in Boulder, it really, really is. And I feel like it's a very unique position that everybody's in. And I'm glad that, you know, being an alum and being part of the things that are going on up there, it's very cool to see it from the outside looking in. But to think that they're just motivated by money and fame and shine up there in Boulder is ridiculous, man. I'm telling you, this group is motivated by more than just the outsider's perspective of what they think they are. It is an extremely special environment up there right now. And it's something that I think years from now, they're going to be doing big time documentaries on and studying and be like, how did this moment in time, it's going to be like the Fab Five and shit like that.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. And I mean, kids my age are always looking for leadership. That's the one thing I always commend Dion on, is he seems to try to guide his kids more than I see other coaches doing. He's really pushing the family aspect, especially when you're bringing 40 plus kids in. It's very important to, like, try to create, you know, this camaraderie, and, like, kids ain't there for money, like you mentioned. I think JB kind of harps on that a lot. And I mean, granted, as a young kid, I mean, when I was coming out of high school, I wasn't looking to get paid. I was looking to play football. So I think a lot of these kids are feel the same way, like, hey, yeah, we might have gotten paid, but I love the game, and I'm trying to just continue my career and playing the game. And, you know, as Coach Prime is saying, like, look, they got to focus on right now. So I think with him really building that camaraderie, it's really fucking important for kids, you know, my age.
Well, yeah, well, think about it. Most of the time, if a great player's kids are great players, the great player isn't the coach. Like, when's the last time where you had a really great player and the great player's dad was the coach? But he has to be great.
Yeah, don't say Bronny. I don't want to hear that.
No, that's exactly. And his dad's not the coach; he's a player. Yeah. And Dan Hawkins and Cody Hawkins. Cody Hawkins was not great. Like that happened in Boulder. Like, I'm sure there's circumstances, but I can't name any off the top of my head. Usually, when the player's a great player, the dad's just a great retired Hall of Famer. Also, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's just the way it is. But this happens to be a situation where Shedeur is the best quarterback in the country. His dad's the best player to the position ever, best two-way athlete ever, right. Three-way athlete because of track and everything else that Coach Prime did. Yeah. Maybe just the best athlete ever. Let's just round it off. But on top of that, Shiloh's also a draft pick, and his adopted son Jimmy Horn Jr. is a draft pick, and Travis Hunter might be the number one pick in the draft, and he's also family. So it's you're looking at a situation where it's not just like, hey, our dad's the coach and he's all famous and we're pretty good and that's why we're on the team. No. It's I'm trying to be better than my pops. Like Shedeur Sanders is sitting there going, I want my legacy to be it. I think Shedeur's a better NFL player than Coach Prime. Now that sounds crazy to me. Because I already said Coach Prime's on the all-time Mount Rushmore of NFL players, right? But if I'm Shedeur Sanders, that's exactly how I'm thinking.
Fuck yeah!
If I'm Nick McChesney sitting up in the living room at my house right now, listening to me talk shit right now on 0 to 60 on the Bleach Network, I'm sitting there like I'm trying to be fucking 50 times better than that scrub down there talking shit. Period. You feel me? Like, but that's what he's got to think.
Yeah.
Ken Griffey Jr. wanted to be better than Ken Griffey Sr. Facts.
Dale
Earnhardt Jr. wanted to be better than Dale Earnhardt Sr. God rest his soul. Like that's just the way this works, dog. Chris and Jake Long wanted to be better than Howie. You know what I'm saying? Clay Matthews wanted to be better than Clay Matthews. That's just and Bruce. So it's Christian wants to be better than Ed.
Yeah,
that's the way this works. So it's a very, very unique position, man. I'm just so fucking excited about it. It's bigger and bolder than just football, and that is the kind of stuff that pushes elite players and good teams to elite levels.
And one thing you mentioned, you're like, you can't think of a coach player situation where the coach is such an all-time great. I think that's really huge because I think Deion is, it seems to me that he's passed on a lot of these same work ethics that he had. It seems like Shedeur's a student of the game like he has. It seems like Shiloh's also adopted those same traits. We know what Travis Hunter is. We know he's all football. So it really seems as though Deion's passing the same traits that made him great and is trying to pass it down to his kids and make them great as well.
Yeah, and it's easy because they know it works, number one. They see it working, number two. And it's not like he is convincing people that they're good. That's the thing. Like, tape doesn't lie. Everybody can watch the film. If you don't think Shedeur can play, in my opinion, you're probably either you're an overzealous, quarterback coach that is nitpicking shit, and that's cool. That's every coach's right, nitpick, or you have an agenda.
Yeah,
it's like the Mahomes thing. I don't think Mahomes can play, and then I'm like, so you don't like the Chiefs, or you don't like Mahomes, or there's something else going on here. It's not just I don't think you can play. It's fucking ridiculous. So that's just a fact. You can have your opinions on Coach Prime as a coach. He still has a lot to prove, yes, but you can't have a negative opinion on the way that he affects the game, the way that he's affected the culture, the players he's brought in around the skill players and around Shedeur to improve this team. You got to be able to look at that and step back and remove the Colorado logo and just look at the team and who they've got in front of Shedeur and around these skill players. And it looks like an 8, 9, or 10 win team to me. So it looks every bit as good as the team that they're going to roll out in Stillwater, every bit as good as the team they're going to roll out in Utah. And I know that some people are going to think that's blasphemy, but again, CU could have beat that team in Salt Lake City last year and should have. The refs took 2 touchdowns off the board in that game. The refs took 2. One of them was a blatant fucking touchdown that they just erased off Travis Hunter. Appreciate you each, Coach Kev, getting in there. $5. Appreciate it. I'm not trying to be overly optimistic, but I'm really having a hard time trying to find a team in the Big 12 that could beat Colorado, maybe Texas Tech. We appreciate you, brother. Thanks for watching, listening, all that good stuff. I thought that they would go to Lubbock and lose, actually. It's one of the games that I picked them to lose. So
yeah, that is true.